I've been born in a Hindu family. I was brought up in a traditional way, but at the age of 25, I was touched by Jesus, and that's how I came into Christ. I'm married to the woman who is from Islamic background, but we got married in the church on the Christian-based and on a Christian faith. And we have 2 children, and they have grown up, and that's how my family all about. But from the time I got baptized, I had always a desire to take the good news to all the places in India. So that's how, because of my profession, and I became a bivocational pastor. And I started planting the churches wherever I got a transfer of my job. I went and started a church. When I left that place, I left it to the local to run the church, and I moved on. So after 20 years of being bivocational pastors, I was disappointed, disgraced by the church health in India. And that's where I was asking God what way I can be effective as a minister. Because the churches are so much divided, and which I feel at pain. And that's where God came into address me, and he has focused me on to the Ephesians chapter 2, where verse 19 and 22, it talks about, you are no more foreigners or aliens, and you are brothers and sisters in Christ. And that shook me, and that made me to think how I can take this message to all the churches. So I was praying about it. That's how the Patrice and Inge, who have been missionaries in India, who are promoting about NCD, they came in contact with us, and that's how they introduced us to the NCD. And that's what we was born as the NCD child to them. And they are the ones, Patrice and Inge, they are here in this conference. And they took a lot of interest, and they trained me. They taught me basics of NCD. And I was totally nil about NCD and no idea about what the church growth principles are all about. But they taught me patiently, and they mentored both of us, me and my wife. They mentored us. And every week we used to meet personally, 3 hours, almost 1 year. They trained me, mentored me, and they put best of their efforts and patiently answering all our questions. And I used to go onto the field and bring back the realities happening in Indian customs and traditions. And then they try to put together all the pieces together and then try to do something about it. So that's how they came up with one small booklet called NCD Intro for the Indian people. So that's why it is more of contextualized with the Indian culture and Indian traditions and Indian pictures mostly to reach out. It's not just in English, it's in other languages also we are translated. Me and my wife could translate few of the languages. And that's how I say, thanks to the Patrice and Inge for their patience. And not just me, 5 years back, they picked up another missionary called Thomas. They also invested, last 5 years, invested in him also. He's also is a part of NCD team in India. So he's not here today, but I'm very happy that they trained both of us.
Can we have a round of applause for Patrice and Inga? And how have you been building on the work that they got started in India, and where are you seeing the church going?
Yeah, see, what they have made a foundation for the NCD in India, so where we are taking now forward from what they have taught us basically now. Last 2 years, I can say it has become more actively we are participating and aggressively going and talking about the NCD orientations. And the last 2025, I was just praying about it, and I just asked God, what will be the vision for the next decade? Because I'm already 60, I might have another 10 years to run the show, but give me the energy, what can be done? Then he gave me the vision of, while praying, hey, why don't you think about 100 coaches in India, so of different background, different denominations, they can come together and they can be catered, because it's a big country. So one partner cannot cater all the denominations. That's where, so initially we just asked, okay, how to go about it. The first step we took was invite the people for the NCD orientation program. So around 100 people we invited, and we asked them to register. So 60 to 70 people registered, and finally they joined, 40 to 50 people joined the webinar. From that, we asked them if anybody is interested to become a NCD practitioners or NCD champions. So we opened the registration, and 35 people registered for the NCD championship program. And from that, 22 people came up for the 3 days workshop, and they attended the workshop. Out of 35, these 22 people just go on the field. They're from different locations from India and from different languages. And because I know only 5 languages, but there are 28 states and different languages. So it's very difficult to meet all the languages. So I said, okay, this is the best strategy, is like, get all the people and train them. So whenever these champions goes and to the field and they say, we have this person want to know NCD orientation. So I tell them, okay, I'll be there, and you just do the translation work. So that's how I'm just training them, so that I'm looking forward. And from the NCD championships, some of them may become NCD coaches. So that's what my understanding. And apart from that, what we are doing is, as a partners, we are 3 partners right now. And I'm not the lone single partner, because it's difficult for the entire country to represent one partner. So that's why we are 3 partners. So what we decided is, we conduct webinars constantly. And that's how last year itself is around 100 pastors, around 15 webinars meeting, where it is called NCD Orientation Program. And that's why they join. And these 100 pastors we have conducted an orientation. So slowly they are picking up the health issues of the churches. And this year we can see they are moving forward for conducting the survey of their churches, and coaching process began in those churches.
And a big piece of your development of your coaches is their own spiritual growth and development. And how are you using the 3 color tests and the tools and so on to help them become formed?
A 3 color test you're talking about?
Well, yeah. And NCD principles.
NCD principle, first of all, I feel like, when I always talk to Adam, and I'll just always say, unless I apply on my own life, how can I tell other people? So that's how I started practicing for all the principles in my own life. And the first thing I began with the loving relationship with my wife. That's the best place to start. That's what I felt. I took the test of my wife and mine. And then we started working on how good we are in our relationship. And that's changed our perspective of thinking. And the E test, especially the wholeness. And someone asked me, one of the pastors, I was explaining all the 8 characteristics. And then I was telling them about, these are the benefits for the church. But he asked me, my church has a problem in the marriages. So many marriages are happening. So what will you recommend? Then I said, what can NCD can give in this? I said, all the 8 qualities you cannot do, but you can definitely go for the loving relationship, because that's what I practice in my marriage. You can solve the problem of your church, having the loving relationship, and that's how you can get the profile of all the church members' profile, and then you can go ahead with the loving relationship in the marriage.
So that's how you're developing your coaches.
Yes, yeah. So the married coaches, that's what I can say. Yeah.
So if you want to be a coach in India, you need to be married first. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much,
Yeah,
Nagaraju.
thank you so much.
And can I have a hand for Nagaraju?